Alright, in this video I'm going to teach you the best onboarding process for when you sign up a new coaching client. Now this is very important because if you miss steps in this process, it actually is going to create a lot of work for you long term. And I want to tell you a bit of a story about this because when I was signing up coaching clients, nobody told me how I should specifically onboard a new client. All I knew how to do is how to change people, right? That's all that I knew. So what happened was I would sign coaching clients up, and well, one of the things that I did miss, as I'll tell you now, is I forgot to send people tax receipts and tax invoices, right? And because of that, what happened was I would write down what they paid me on a piece of paper. And all that happened was I got to the end of the year and I actually had no idea how much my coaching business had made. I was like, it was in a bank account, right? I'd spent a lot of the money as well. I was still at zero anyway because I'd spent so much of the money. But I also didn't know what I'd been paid, and because I didn't have an accounting system, I didn't have this. So I think it's very important because what happened was I received all this money, didn't spend it all. Then an accountant did in the end have to do all my taxes, and in the end they said, Luke, you know what, I'm sorry to inform you of this, but you're actually up for a $50,000 tax bill. And then I received in the mail this letter from the Australian Taxation Office. It was a very pleasant letter to read. It said, Luke, you owe us $50,000 due within, I think it was like a month or two. And I was like, that was kind of inconvenient for me. So what I've done now is I've created a bit of an onboarding process for when you sign up a new coaching client so you don't experience that pain that I felt. Alright, number one, what we want to do is we want to have a way to take payment. And many coaches miss this. So you might need B Point. That's linked to what's called the Commonwealth Bank, which is a bank in Australia. Or you could use Stripe. That's an international one that allows you to take credit card and debit card details. Right, it's very, very effective. I believe it also allows bank transfers as well. You've got PayPal. The PayPal has slightly higher, rates that you have to pay to PayPal than Stripe. Then you've got another one called Square. Square is another one that you could use to take debit card and credit card payments. Or you could also do a bank transfer as well. But you want to have your bank details handy on your phone or on your computer all the time. Wherever I go, I've got my bank details handy with me because you want to be able to receive money at any time, and you want to be able to have Stripe easily accessed on your phone, or some way to take debit card and credit card details. You want to be able to accept money from the universe, and some of you block it out. So we have to be able to receive that, and the way you do that is have lots of ways to receive money, right? And no matter how many coaches I tell this, they still somehow miss it unconsciously, but it's the number one thing to do. And when I'm always on a sales call, I always have those payment gateways open and ready to go on that call, right? That's the first thing. So have lots of ways to take payments and have it open on the sales call. Number two is you want to have them sign an agreement. So we use Adobe e-signature. I really love it. I think it's great. If you wanted help for what you could have an agreement, you could go on our website, lukehawkins.com. We have some terms and conditions there, and you could probably model some things off that if you wanted to. But you've got to have them sign an agreement. And the good thing about Adobe e-signature is you send it through an email, and then they sign it on the call. Write that down. They sign it on the call, right? And they're a projection of you. So if you feel funny about it, they're going to feel funny about it. But you just go, no, it's just part of the process. If you buy a home, you've got to sign agreements. If you buy a coaching program, this is to protect you because you're going to make investments of your time and energy and money even probably to serve them. And so that's why you need to have them sign it on the call. And you read it through with them, right? You read that agreement through them so they're perfectly fine with it. And then that's done. Step number three, what we do is now once they've done that, we like to celebrate them. We ask them, is it okay if I celebrate you on social media? And we celebrate them on Instagram, on Facebook, sometimes on LinkedIn, on my Facebook and Instagram stories. I want to celebrate them everywhere because, momentum builds momentum. And if other people see you all excited and happy, then people are like, wow, that must be good. And if you can tag them on their stories as well, or tag them in the post, sometimes it goes to their social media, sometimes even get clients from their social media based on signing them up, which is very helpful. So I really recommend celebrating them. And sometimes I even dress up as something funny, dress up as something crazy. I've dressed up as a whoopee cushion before. I've dressed up as Santa Claus, and I've said Christmas has come early. I've done stuff like this to just try to get more people into my course. So that's what I really recommend is, something out there, right? Or celebrate them in any way you can. Step number 4 is you want to send them a confirmation email. That confirmation email is actually got what they bought, what's in the program that they bought, and how it's going to work, how the support works. Make sure you put boundaries on the support so they know, they can contact you only at these times, or they can contact you at any time, but you allow 24 hours to respond. Just put the boundaries around what your communication methods are. Maybe it's by text, or maybe it's by Facebook Messenger, or maybe it's by Voxer. Just put boundaries on how they can communicate to you, and when, how often, and the time that's going to take you to respond. That's very important. Last thing you want is like every client to be calling you, at midnight or at 6 in the morning, right? You've got to have some boundaries there, right? And then step number 5, you store them as a client in an Excel sheet or in some sort of CRM, which is a customer resource management tool. We use ActiveCampaign. We also have Salesforce, right? But these are, Salesforce is a big beast of a thing. I don't recommend that if you're doing less than $1 million a year. And we use ActiveCampaign, actually find that pretty good. But also Excel sheets, just put all your clients in there. You put the date that they signed up, and you're gonna put the date that they finish. You're gonna put how much they paid, the total amount that is due, right? If they haven't paid it all yet. And that way you've got it all in one place, right? You don't wanna use paper. And then step number 6 is you wanna send them a tax invoice. We use Xero. Quite simple to use. You could use Xero, or you could use, there's another one called QuickBooks. There's probably other accounting software out there. But you want to send them a tax invoice that shows what they've paid in full, great, they're done. Or it's also, if they've got money outstanding, you can have that in the tax invoice too, and it says when that payment is due. And you want to do that so you have all your accounting in place, right? You could do that step, or you could get a bookkeeper to do it. You could get a bookkeeper between $20 to $50 now. You probably even find people overseas for cheaper than that. So I recommend doing that, so then you've got all your tax up to date, right? Send that straight away after the sale as well. Or you could do them all at the end of the week, or get someone to do them for you all at the end of the week as well. And then step number 7 is give them something of value to get started with. I think that's really good. It helps with the sale as well. You could say, I want you to start doing these affirmations, or I want you to start this gratitude journal, or I want you to start doing these activities, right? I always like to give them something to start with, so they can go, wow, I can start getting results straight away. Changing the way they feel, doing rituals in the morning of meditation, or jumping up and down, celebrating, it's if they'd already achieved their goals to a song, any of these things, right? So they're the 7 steps that I would follow. Step number 1 is take payment. Step number 2 is have them sign an agreement. Step number 3 is celebrate them. Step number 4 is send a confirmation email. Step number 5 is store them as a client in an Excel sheet or CRM. Step number 6 is send them a tax invoice. And then step number 7 is give them something of value to get started with straight away, so they feel they've already got value from you. They're all the steps. Hope you enjoy that. Love to hear what you think. Write in the comments. Tag me in the stories on Facebook or Instagram. Love to see what results you've got from this, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.